that's kind of where I was first exposed to the digital world. And okay, I started my career, I think I'm recording now. So I started my career in tech recruitment, and that's where I was first exposed to the digital world. And what was good about that was that I learned how to find jobs, because I was finding jobs for other software engineers like yourselves. I was finding jobs for other people. I was having to go through the digital market, find out who is hiring, find out what skills they need, and then trying to find match them with candidates like yourselves. So yeah, so I've also mentored numerous engineers in learning how to code and advancing their careers, including finding their first jobs and navigating the job market. I'm currently the engineering manager for a tech startup in the UK. So I've built out all of their software. I've built their team over there as well. And yeah, 8 years working in tech doesn't feel that long, but it's exactly that. So let's crack on to the next slide. Cool. So in finding your next job, I'm trying to make this as systematic as possible for you, okay? As opposed to spraying and praying and just going all over the place trying to find a new job. You want a system that you can follow, that if you do this 100 times over, maybe you get maybe you get 10 interviews, maybe you get 3 offers off the back of those 10 interviews, and then you accept one job. All right, so it's all about repeating this process. All right, so the 3 key steps of this are essentially, number 1, finding companies that might hire you. All right, because you need to know who hires in your space, right? And you need to find out exactly how to find those companies. Okay, so you need a list of loads of companies that may potentially give you a job. Number 2, you need to find the people who decide if you get the job in that company. Kind of makes sense, huh? And you need to target those people, and you need to approach the people who will potentially give you a job in that company. So those are the 3 main things that you need to cover when you're finding a new job. It's a system I've used. It's a system that you use in recruitment. What they do in recruitment can be a little bit more crafty, and they have a little bit more sales techniques that aren't necessary for you guys, but you guys have an advantage, which is you're coming from a very personal space, and you're not trying to sell them anything. You're trying to connect with them, and that's how you tell them it. But essentially, you're trying to sell yourself to them, right? Cool. So starting off, find companies that might hire you, all right? How are we going to do that, okay? So like I mentioned, you want to create a list of companies, and you're eventually going to go through each one, trying to get a job at each and every single one. But how do you create that list of companies, okay? So again, I've done this process. I got a job doing this process, and this is all really effective stuff. So I'm not making this up. I'm not just like, this is proven and tried and worked, okay? So number 1, I create 3 lists, okay? List 1 is anyone that has hired someone from a boot camp in the past. You guys are all graduating from boot camps. You're all graduating from thank you for trusting me, to say. I appreciate it, brother. It's distracting. You guys are all graduating from boot camps. So you need to, if you can find companies that have previously hired from TAP, previously hired from boot camps, previously hired juniors, people that are similar to you, well, then you know that they have a history of hiring people like you, and they may very well do it again, and they're open to that. Some companies, if I'm not mistaken, Netflix, just one that came to the top of my head, I think they might only hire like super senior people and pay them 500 grand a year or something ridiculous. All right. Some companies have certain criteria for hiring. So you want companies that hire people just like you. Okay. Some companies want people with more computer science degrees. I don't have a computer science degree, but I did graduate from a boot camp. So I found companies that hired from boot camps. Okay. So yeah. So again, first thing is companies that have previously hired people like you. Number 2, companies that are actively hiring. Okay, that's just a given, right? So that also goes within list 1. The people that are hot leads, we'll call these guys hot leads, because they're hiring. They're looking for someone like you, and you just need to show them that you're around. Cool. And separate yourself from the other people applying for those same jobs. List number 2, this is a warm list, I call it, not as hot as the first one. So these guys aren't necessarily hiring right now. They haven't necessarily even hired someone like you before. However, they're digital agencies. Why are digital agencies good? Because digital agencies are all about turning a profit. They're not about innovation. They're not about creating the next Netflix. They're about doing work for other companies and making their profit margin as high as possible. Why does that work for you? Because you're a junior, and because also you're remote. right? And remote people get paid a little bit less, right? It's true. And essentially, they will rather, but also you guys can actually code, believe it or not. You guys can really code. So they'd rather hire you, pay you a bit less. You get 1 or 2 years experience. They pay you a bit less, but now you leave that company. It's a fair exchange. You got the experience. They got good work for a lower level, and also they usually train you up so you can provide good standard work to their clients, if that makes sense. And by the way, that's exactly what I did, and now I'm an engineering manager. My first job was for a digital agency. I got paid less than a lot of people, but I found my job much faster than everybody else. And now, like I said, I'm an engineering manager. Moving on, list 3 is the cold list, which is literally just any company that's hiring. Just every single company you see that is hiring, that hires no space. If you're a Python developer and you see that this company has Python developers in that company, or you see that they have Python in their company, they may very well hire you. Okay, they could give you a job. So that is list 3. They're cold, but ideally, in perfect world land, you'd find a company that's actively hiring, has a history of hiring for people just like you, and they're a digital agency as well. You're likely to get that job, all right? Or at least you're very well positioned to get that job. Pro tip: get yourself organized and use some kind of software like an Excel sheet or like a piece of paper. I used a piece of paper because I was used to using pen and paper when I was in recruitment and doing sales. I don't know why. When I'm on the phone, you just write down things. I'd rather write down things and type. But I would recommend Excel. You don't need some complicated software at first. So just Excel or piece of paper, where you're listing out these companies and keeping note of them. Okay, and essentially you're going to need to build your track against these companies on that sheet of paper or on that Excel sheet. So that's step 1 covered. So how do you find these companies? Okay. So number 1, you can strip CVs. I'm going to show you exactly what that means. All right. So I told you which companies you need to find. Now I'm going to show you how to find those companies. All right. This is all very practical advice. You can literally do this as soon as we get off the call right now, and you'll have 5 applications. So I'm actually, hopefully I don't have anything incriminating on my browser right now. Okay. Thank God it's only LinkedIn. Great. So I'm going to jump back onto LinkedIn. That could have gone wrong, huh? Pretty bad. And I'm actually doing my own process right now, trying to network with people in Dubai for my company. So let's just say you are a software engineer. I'm a JavaScript guy. Some of you guys may be, I think you said business development people. Maybe, I'll be honest with you, I'm not as familiar with those fields, but a lot of this is still applicable. Some people may be, I think you said into marketing. Again, whatever your job title is, think about what your job title is. I don't necessarily know. I'm a software guy, so I'm better with software stuff. So I'm going to type in software engineer. And you know what? I'm going to say London because I know the London market, and you guys can put any location, all right? So software engineer, London, software engineer at Amazon, London. I have no idea who this is. Again, this could go wrong. However, it didn't go wrong. It went not bad, okay? So-so, we'll call it so-so. Anyways, so you look at this person's CV, they're a software engineer, okay? This one's so-so, to be honest with you. Let me pick someone else. Let me pick, I know a guy that will just do, right, we'll say Kazoo, software engineer. So I'm trying to find somebody who's worked at Kazoo right now at this particular company. We're going to go click on people. Not Kazoo. We're going to click on people, senior software engineer at Kazoo. Again, don't know who Jamie Gardner is, but I know that Kazoo is a tech startup. And I saw senior software engineer CV. Okay, great. Okay, great. This is the kind of character I was looking for. Okay, cool. So this is a guy who's a software engineer who you guys want to be like. Okay, I've just seen his CV right now. He's a .NET guy. Okay, so you can assume that perhaps in these companies he's been using Microsoft .NET. So looking at these companies, so here we have London and Quadrant. They hire senior developers. They hire engineers. Okay, so all of you, if you were a .NET engineer and you wanted to work a remote job in London right now, you could literally write down the name London and Quadrant onto your list. That is a company that hires 4 .NET developers, okay? Moonpig, he's a .NET guy, probably .NET, he's put .NET here as a skill. So you now know Moonpig. You write down Moonpig is your second company that you write down. Then you have Kazoo. Kazoo also hire for people that are software engineers. Those are 3 new companies for every single one of you who's an engineer to go apply for. All right. I mentioned boot camps. So I'm going to type in General Assembly, which is the boot camp that I did. I'm going to write in software engineer and find someone exactly from boot camp. Uh, let's see. Again, I have no idea who these people are. I just want somebody who's previously been in General Assembly. He hasn't been in General Assembly. Who, again, all of these CVs are relevant. You can go to every single one, and I'm going to go to the one. I want to show you this one actually. All of those CVs were relevant, and you can go and get the companies off of all of those people and show results. Okay. There we are. Wait, that's it. All of those people were relevant, and you can go get all the companies from those people's CVs because you know that they're hired for engineers because they hired those guys, and you can add them all to your list. These are all companies that you could directly apply for. So the reason I bring up this guy's CV is because this is the process I followed to get my first job, and I noticed that when I saw this guy, I was like, all right, he's graduated from General Assembly. Okay, General Assembly right there, 2015. It was just before me. I typed in General Assembly, I typed in software engineer. You can type in TAP Palestine. If you know any of TAP Palestine's competitors, you can type in that. You can type in General Assembly, whatever you want, any boot camp, all right? And I saw that, okay, the first job he got after coming out of this boot camp was at Damn Digital, all right? And he worked there in 2016 till September 2016, right? I then went and took every other company. So the first company would be on the hot list. Yeah, they're a digital agency, number one. Number two, they've hired for people just like me and you who came out of boot camps and came out of these kind of courses. Yeah, number two. And number three, actually, one other thing that makes them quite good is that they're not a massive company. So more than likely, you can get through to the decision makers quite easily. Okay. I then made a note of every single company that this guy has worked for. And all of you, look at this, Leighton, remote. All of you guys now know that Leighton hires for front-end developers to work on a remote basis. Any of you that is a remote engineer who works in front end should be scribbling down the name Leighton right now. They might hire you. They might give you a job. Am I getting through to you? Okay. Same with FICO. Damn, I need to tap some of these guys up as well, see if I can do some recruitment there. But Red Ant, Extreme Reach, Tata Consultancies, Volition, okay, all companies that hire for engineers. Those two are specifically mentioned as remote. So those two would actually be hot for you guys because you guys are specifically looking for remote work, right? Now, I remember I mentioned this company, Damn Digital. Look at this. I followed the process I'm teaching you right now. Look at that, Damn Digital, right? Immediately after he left, you know. So this shit works. Then shame. Excuse my language. So also look at my CV. This is 4 more companies for you guys to apply for. Avant Art, Kazoo, Sky, Damn Digital, Sticky. You can message all the people there. Although if you message Sticky, you'll be messaging me because I'm the guy. Anyways, so let's go back to this. That was how you strip CVs. You start finding software engineers on LinkedIn and you look at every single company that they've worked for. Number 2, how do you find more companies? Job adverts. So am I hiring? No, unfortunately not. We're a very small company. We don't take on juniors. Again, that puts us in the call list. But anyways, most definitely, my brother. That's the right mindset. You guys need to adopt this shoot my shot mindset that this guy's commenting in the Google Meets thing. Seriously though. Anyways, job adverts. You know that these guys are all hiring for jobs, right? So over here, you could type in, let's just say you guys wanted to go for, I don't know, a remote job in Amman, yeah, because it's close by to Palestine, or some of you are already in Palestine, some of you might live in Amman right now, I'm not sure. So you're looking for companies Amman, yeah? So you're going to click on jobs. This is very self-explanatory. Okay, I'm obviously looking at Dubai stuff, so Node.js developer, full stack developer. Again, all of these companies are actively hiring, so you can say one.com, you add that to your list. London, this one's in London, so they know I'm in London. Sidekick, all these companies are actively hiring and you add them all to your list. Key point, it doesn't matter if it says junior or not. I'm not telling you to look for a junior position. I'm telling you to look for companies that hire with your technology stack. Okay, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And I'm going to give you a case study of why it's not important if they're hiring for your skills, for your level or not. What's important is if they're hiring for, if they have your tech stack. So if you're front end, pretty much you can apply to pretty much every company. If you're .NET, that's a little bit more niche. You need to go find .NET companies. How do you do that? Again, like I said, you look for .NET jobs, or you find .NET developers. You search for .NET developers on LinkedIn, and you find out where they've worked. All those companies have a .NET stack, and they all hire for .NET. Anyways, cool. So that adds to your list. Same goes for DD and DM. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So you look at people, you type in BD, what you type in your job title, like I said, you type in your job title, you find the people who are in your field, and you see every company that they've worked for, if you're a BD or marketing or whatever, okay? Anyways, Google searches, cool. So Google searches, you can say top digital agencies in GCC, okay? And all right, top 10 digital marketing companies in Dubai, 20 best digital marketing agencies in Dubai. Type in software agencies in GCC. Yeah. Cool. Top software development companies in Dubai. Okay, cool. That's 10 companies all of you can apply to right now, especially if you're on front end. Maybe you want to check their tech stack and see who, and the way you find out their tech stack is you find the employees that work there and see what they put at their skills. Okay. So that's 10 companies all of you should be applying for today, right? You should screenshot that, add those 10 companies to your list. All right. This is 20 companies that you guys can apply for if they've actually shown you the company or not. This is just a random. Again, all of this I'm doing on the fly to show to you that this is all realistic and all of you guys can do this. Okay. This isn't me prepping a bunch of stuff. So Eco, VME Digital, clients we've worked with. All right. This list, okay, Ninja Promo, 7G Media, EDS. You get the point, all right? I hope. These hire the best web and mobile app developers. So these guys, they want web and mobile app developers. All these companies are software companies. Who's building their software? Ideally, in the future, you guys. You get what I'm saying? Because you're working remotely for them. And okay. Anyways, back to this. So these are 3 methods that you can do to get a list of companies that hire in your space and people that could potentially hire you. Pro tip, focus on 1 or 2 particular sectors or locations, then branch out. Organization equals efficiency. Exactly. So maybe you want to start just with Amman, okay? And you just look at every single company in Amman. Can I zoom the screen? Can you guys see this all right, by the way? Yeah, okay. If anyone can't see the screen or something, just please put a hand. Okay, everyone's hand. Okay, cool. These are 3, sorry, I was saying niche first. So look at every single company in Amman. You're going to have more than 100 lists, 100 people in that list. You're going to have like 1,000, okay? Then if you guys really have your heart set on New York, look at every company in New York, but you also have to think about which city is most likely to hire you, okay? I think, for example, Saudi Arabia, I noticed they get a lot of remote workers from Egypt, just off the top of my head. So maybe you look at Riyadh, you know, that's a good start. Cool. And essentially, like I said, you organize it. Start with one place. Don't just get one company in London, one company in Amman. Get every company in Amman, then go to the next one. It's efficient and you will, be more efficient. Cool. And again, this is all a system. You have to make this as systematic as possible. Find the decision makers. Cool. What do I mean by find the decision makers? These are people who decide whether or not you get the job. You know what I mean? Like in my company, if you come to Sticky, I decide if you get the job or not. I'm the engineering manager. Do you know what I'm saying? So you want to talk to me, or you want to talk to whoever else is a manager. Okay. And again, this stuff isn't learned from being a tech guy, by the way. This is learned from being in recruitment. But anyways, so you find the engineering manager, you find the CEO, you see the CTO, you see the tech lead. Anything that sounds like it's managerial, they may be the person who ends up interviewing you, and they may be the person who gives you the yes or the no, okay? So those are good people to talk to. If you contact HR, the problem with contacting HR is that HR don't care about tech. They're not emotionally invested into tech. The engineering manager is, the CEO is, CTO is, tech lead is. The HR person has a quota. They have to say, they will literally just say, oh, well, we're not hiring at the moment, mate, because that's all they're thinking about. Are we hiring or are we not? Because I'm the HR person, and if I have a job to hire, then I want to talk to these people. If not, not really bothered. Whereas you can actually start a conversation with a tech lead like me and try to even get advice. And I would be inclined to give you advice. If any of you message me privately on Slack, if any of you message me on LinkedIn and ask for advice, I'll probably respond to you. HR may not, because they don't really care, right? So again, they're not engineers themselves, therefore will have less in common with you and less empathy. They are more about reaching targets. They don't understand tech, so they can't even give you tech advice or anything like that. But anyways, so find a manager. Okay, I've got to demo this now. I'll put my, let me show you how to find these managers at tech. So one company that I mentioned to you was Kazoo, right? So let's just say you went on to one of these profiles and you found, do you know what? Let's do a company that I don't know, just to kind of have a crack at it, right? So you guys know it's for real. So I've just clicked on Cogna. Let's just say you got this company from the job advert list, okay? You click on Cogna, you go onto the LinkedIn page, okay? Now you're on the LinkedIn page. Guess what? You can see everybody who works at Cogna, okay? So you click on people. To be honest with you, if you click at the employee list and get this here as well, is this a good one? This may not be the best one. Engineering at Cogna. Let's try him. Building new things at Cogna. Okay, that's another profile. Solving the productivity problem. Let me just see these three people. Cool. Software engineer. He's just a software engineer. Cool. He is the founder of Cogna. Okay. And again, this is a small company. They have 12 people working there. So now you know exactly who owns the company of Cogna. If he isn't a digital decision maker, I don't know who is. Okay. And he used to be an engineering manager, so he'll have more empathy with you because he's actually in tech. All right. So all of you can write down the word name, Cogna as a business. Oh, this guy's gonna get flooded with like attack Palestine people like today. But you can all write down the word Cogna as a company, and you can write down Lars Menon. Now, next to that list, the name of the company, you write down the decision maker's name. Lars Menon. Cogna is the company. Lars Menon is the hiring manager, okay? And the person who's in charge of hiring. I'm going to click on this one. Co-founder and CEO, he seems less techy, although you could probably message him as well, okay? Cool, Lars Menon. So now, off the back of that, you have the manager and you have I'm going to go for Suzo, and you have the company, okay? I'm going to do one more company for you. I'm going to do Kazoo. To be honest with you, they've become quite big, so it might be a bit more tricky. What you can do is Kazoo and type in engineering manager. Let's just see what comes up. Literally the first one, number 3 engineering managers at Kazoo. All these guys are going to need engineers in their team, and they are all ultimately the one that decides whether or not you join their team. So next to the name Kazoo, you have 3 names to add: Benjamin, Owen, Michael. Okay, cool. So I just found you a bunch of managers and a bunch of decision makers at these companies. Cool. These are the guys that decide whether or not you get a job. Then you need to find their contact details. Okay, so you can find their emails. You can find their. I'm going to show you how to do this, by the way. You can find their phone numbers. You can find their GitHub. You can look for this. That's a bit cheeky. You can look for their CV online and find if they have a CV online on a job board, but that's a bit tricky unless you have some recruitment software. Although sometimes you'll just literally find it on Google or on their portfolio that they put up. Like some engineering managers, they were obviously once upon a time a junior engineer. So they have these little portfolios where like they have their junior jobs, but at the end they'll also have contact and their mobile number, so you can call them directly. It's a bit cheeky, and you need a bit of a silver tongue if you want to kind of go down that route, or else they might be like, "Yo, like who's this person just calling me?" Right? If you call their mobile number, yeah, cool. But you can call the company up and ask to speak to them, yeah, and or at least just say, "Hey, I wanted to let you guys know I am looking for a job." Anyways, Google them, or the best way, contact details on LinkedIn, right? You want to connect with them and you want to message them on LinkedIn. If you found, okay, and you want to connect with them and message them on LinkedIn. Over here, I've written you, if you find one email, you found them all, okay? Finding their direct email. Now, this is a bit more tricky. Last time I demoed it, I did it the first time and I was quite successful with that. But let me see if I can give it a crack here. So let's go back to Cogna. How do you find Ben's, not Ben, Lars? how do you find lots? So number one, you want to connect with him. I'll connect with him right now. Okay, if he accepts, I'm going to send him a message and say, hey, my name is first name on my list, Mahmoud Al-Ragabi, or just say I'm Mahmoud and I'm so and so. I do so and so, and I'm looking for a tech job. And I will basically tell you more information how to say this. But right now, again, it's all about the system. You have the company, you have the engineering manager, and now you're getting the contact details for that engineering manager. Okay, so let's see if we can find Lars. I'm just gonna click on contact info. If he clicks accept, sometimes you see more contact info. He may very well have his personal email there. If not, what you do is you go to Cogna, you go on to the about section. All right, there doesn't seem to be an email there. You go on to cogna.co, you go onto their website. Okay, these guys are so small, they don't have a website, really? Cool. All right, let's skip Cogna then. Let's go with, let me just get another company up. I'm just going to go back to my old boy code quickly. But essentially, connecting with them LinkedIn and messaging on LinkedIn is a direct way to contact them. It's probably the easiest and the number one way I recommend. Let's try Halition. Don't know how big this company is. Okay, click on about, click on Halition. There you go. That's a phone number for the company. You call up and you ask to speak. Again, you have to be a bit ballsy to call up, but you can ask to speak to any of the lead full stack software engineer. You know, he might be a bit like, who's this guy calling me? But you can just call up and say, hey, I've dropped an email to you and I was wondering if you got it. Okay. Very similar in business development. So you go to halition.com. Again, this is all from, I got this all from a sales club, right? When I was doing recruitment. So join our network. Okay. info@halition.com. Okay. You now know the last email for everyone at this company is always going to be at halition.com. Now, because it's a smaller company, I would probably guess that you can probably put just the first name of whoever works there. So if I go here, people, the email for Matthew Story at halition.com is probably going to be matthew@halition.com or matthew.story@halition.com. Essentially, you're trying to find the algorithm. Let me see if I can try our network, see if sometimes it pops up an email. Okay, so they're hiding their emails because probably some salespeople have already done what I've done and hit them up already, so they realize they caught onto the game. What I would recommend then, if you really want the personal email and not just the LinkedIn contact, is try to get the email for the HR. Yeah, when you call them up, ask to speak to HR, ask if they have a job, ask if the HR person has a direct email, and they'll probably give it to you because they're HR. So it'll be like first name dot last name at halition.com. Send your CV, but also you now know everybody who has a job at this company. Their email is first name dot last name at halition.com. Does that make sense? Yeah, I see some heads nodding. So I'm assuming it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to anybody, I'll go back to it, but I want to cover the rest of this talk. And also in the first time I did it, I aced it. I got the first email the first time I tried. Cool. So that's how you find their direct email. Again, so now you have a direct email to message them. You can message them on LinkedIn. You can call up and just say you've applied. You know, if you're not confident in how you're going to sell to them yourself, just say, hey, I just saw that I really love your company. I just want to find out if you guys are hiring. Also, I want to send my CV to you guys. And that will also just get you ahead of everyone. Anyways, a bounce back email might have their mobile number. So when I was doing all of this, I sent direct emails to people who are CEOs of companies. And obviously it's hard to get through to CEOs, right? However, a CEO was on holiday one time and his email said, oh, away on leave at the moment, please contact so-and-so. And at the bottom of the email was his signature, which had a mobile number. And I called him up while he was on holiday, which was a bit cheeky, but he was quite impressed with it. And anyways, cool. This is how you approach your company. So now you have a list of companies, list of managers, and a list of their contact details. So now you need to contact them and tell them that you're an engineer or you're whoever, marketing person or business dev. The business dev guys might be a bit more familiar with this stuff. And you need to tell them that you're looking for this job. You know what I'm saying? Or sorry, you need to tell them who you are. Okay. So when you want to contact these companies and you want to make your move, Don't ask if they're hiring. All right. That sounds counterproductive. The business dev guys might get what I'm about to say, but if you ask, are you hiring? You're going to either get a yes or a no. And more than likely, if you haven't looked for job adverts, more than likely, they're going to say no. Okay. So even if they are hiring, again, you can act like you don't know. All right. And you want to make it as though you want to build a relationship, right? You can keep the person on a hook and get them talking if you tell them you want to build a relationship with them or that you want to talk to them. Okay. Um, anyways, yes. So, and also you seem more organic. You seem like someone who is genuinely invested in their company as opposed to someone who is just looking for a job to spin. All right. Cool. Number two is you want to book a meeting with them. Don't tell them you want a job. Tell them you want to talk to them. And okay, tell them what you like about their company. So yeah, book a meeting. So first in your email or in your message, you should introduce yourself. And I'll give you an example of an email that you can send in a minute. I might send it in this channel and you guys can use it as perhaps a template. It's going to be a bit generic, so you have to specialize it a little bit. So tell them that you'd like to, so tell them what you like about their company. So you mentioned that you've looked at their portfolio, or if they're innovation company, you love that their product is, I don't know, building apps for cats, I don't know, and you really love cats and you love what their company is doing, yeah, or something. And tell them you'd like to introduce yourself over a virtual coffee, if not a phone call, okay? So you want to get on the phone to them and introduce yourself personally, right? And usually what will happen if you can get on a phone call with these people is it will basically turn into a job interview where they ask you about your job at work experience and what you've learned, and you tell them that and you ask them about their company, okay? And perhaps show them a project you've worked on, build the relationship in a meeting, maybe just tell them how much you like their platform and you like to share some ideas from the platform. Okay, somebody actually did this to me and they got in front of my CEO and they got in front of me because they got my CEO to buy. And they were like, oh, this guy just wants to learn about our company and give us some ideas. And he seems really passionate and young. So let's go have a meeting with him, Danesh. And then I end up me and the CEO ended up in a phone call with this, in a phone call with this guy. It was actually a Zoom call. Anyways, what do I want to say here? I want to say one more thing about this, right? You basically want to say to them, I love your company. This is who I am, number one. I love your company because of this, number two. Number three, you want to say, not sure if you're hiring, but I just want to introduce, this is key. There you go. I just want to introduce myself so that when you are looking, I'm the first person that comes to your mind. Yeah, that's what you want to say. All right. I just want to be the first person you think of when you eventually are looking. That is your hook. Okay, that's your hook that tries to catch them. By the way, also attach my CV here. Please let me know your thoughts and when you might be available. Yeah, you can definitely get the slides. Anyways, be persistent is number two. Again, BD guys might know this already, but you've got to message maybe one or two people at the company. Also message HR, also message an engineering manager, also apply for the job on their thing. Also see if you can get a direct email for as many people as you can and email them. And ideally decision makers, not just random people, all right? Because they'll just be like, what the hell? Okay, anyways. Start with the managers. If you don't hear back after a couple of days, message HR and message managers again. I cannot stress this enough. You need to be persistent. When you go through this process, you're going to get a lot of no's and you're going to get a lot of dead ends, and not a lot of people are going to respond to you, and it will be exhausting, and it will be like, hey, this is life. You know what I mean? I always tell anybody I mentor, there's only one hard part of the software industry, which is getting your first job. That's the only hard part. Everything else, you can learn to code, mate. You know what I mean? You just need, if you're struggling to learn to code, you just need to break it down into a smaller problem and learn that very small thing, and then learn it one step at a time. But otherwise, there's one hard thing in the tech industry, which is getting your first job. After you get your first job and you have a bit of experience, you're now a valuable commodity. Anyways, cool. So yeah, attach your personal website, your CV, your portfolio to every single message. They don't respond, message again after 1 week and again and again. So you should have a list. On your list, manager names. On your list, next to your manager names, contact details. Next to the contact details, have you messaged them? What have you done so far to approach them? Where are you at in the stage? Okay, just a little note. Can just be, I use color codes. I use color codes. So red is they've told me to piss off, excuse my language. Yellow is I booked in a meeting, and orange is I'm waiting to hear back from them, and nothing is really in concrete yet. Okay, that's the color code I use. Cool. So again, direct emails, send direct semi-tailored emails. So create a template for your emails and semi-tailor them. I'm going to show you how to do that. I don't think I've actually added this in this presentation. I don't think I did last time. I'll show you an example of what that could be in this one, because I think it's quite handy. So send a direct semi-tailored email off the back of a template that you've created and adjust for each company. So send direct emails, send your messages through LinkedIn, send your CV through the job advert on all of their platforms. So if they have it on their company website, on LinkedIn, on that email, send your CV through and your portfolio or whatever. Message them on multiple platforms. Like I got a meeting with the founder of a software consulting company who I may be going into a little bit of business with at the end of this month, who is a much bigger fish than me. Because I messaged him twice. I messaged him I did this process. I found the company because I wanted to work with software consulting companies in the GCC. I found the company, I found the founder. I then messaged the founder directly on LinkedIn and on email, okay? He did not see the LinkedIn message. He doesn't use LinkedIn, yeah? He got the email, right? And he was responding to me on email. To this day, I don't think he's read the LinkedIn message. Yeah. So message them on all their platforms. Cool. Again, call them if you can. If you've applied for a job on the job advert, if you've dropped them a message, just say, hey, just call them up and your pitch will be, I just wanted to call and let you know I've applied to the job advert and see if you've received my application. My name is so-and-so. Okay. And I really love your company. So I just wanted to make sure that it's in your hands. And that if you're not confident in talking on the phone, just say that. Just say that. Be very authentic. Just say, hey, I just want to find out if you got my CV. That's it. If you are a bit more confident on the phone, there's other techniques you can try. And you can also speak directly to the manager. And then you can try to say, hey, let me come meet you. I'll come down to your office. Or let me send you a Zoom link and let's jump on a phone call maybe sometime this week. What time are you free? You know, and you can try to hook them, really hook them. Again, that can be very scary, but it's very effective. Cool. Cool. Case study. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you how I got my job at Damn Digital. This is me back in when I was 21, 2015. All right. I was in recruitment. I was doing this exact same process. I was getting jobs for people and I was hustling my way into companies. All right. And I was a sales guy and they don't like sales guys because sales guys try to sell them money. They like you guys because you guys are fellow techies. Yeah. Cool. Anyways, so the way I got my job at Damn Digital is, as I mentioned to you, I went and I typed in General Assembly and I typed in software engineer. Okay. Would a person have any leverage in negotiating financial compensation if they try to get hired that way? If you haven't got your first job, yeah, beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers, mate. You know what I mean? You're competing with people, with a lot of people right now. There's a lot of juniors out there. Do you know what I mean? Less seniors. So let's just focus on you getting your job. And then as you climb the ranks, your money will come. Okay. The hard part right now is getting the experience. I'm sure all of you are here because you realize it's not easy to get a job, right, in tech as your first job. Okay, that's why you're here. So let's leave the money until you have 3 years experience or 1 year experience at least. And now you're looking for a good place to get your first job. In America, again, different locations, different people have different advantages and different things like that. Like I'm a British engineer. In America, I get paid triple what I get paid, mate. It's a piss take. But anyway, excuse my language. So I typed in General Assembly because I'm a General Assembly graduate. Okay. Let me go onto my profile as well so you can see what I'm talking about right now. Cool. So over here, you can see I graduated from General Assembly. All right. I typed in General Assembly and I typed in software engineer. Okay. I came across this guy's profile. Wait, okay, his picture is the same way that all the General Assembly people get their picture. Like if I click on this guy's thing, he's definitely flipping General Assembly because you can just tell by the picture. Yeah, General Assembly. Cool. Anyways, so I was like, all right, where did he go? Okay, he went to Damn Digital as soon as he left General Assembly. So I said, okay, Damn Digital. I put that on my list, on the hot list with the digital agency, plus they hired from my place. I said, okay, I went into Damn Digital, I clicked on the employees, and I looked for the engineering manager there. Okay. Now, the engineering manager I spoke to isn't here. He's this guy. So at the time, this guy was the engineering manager at Damn Digital. I'm going to show you right here. Technical manager, lead software developer. Okay. I sent this guy an email saying, hey, I've noticed that one of the other graduates, I tried to warm up the message as much as possible. One of the other graduates, he's also joined you guys at Damn Digital, and like apparently you guys have a really great reputation. I just wanted to I just want to send you guys a message and see if I can come down and introduce myself over a coffee, so that when you are looking, not sure if you're hiring, but when you are looking, you can, potentially think of me, and I'll be the first person that comes to your mind. I didn't get anything back. I called up the company and I said, can I speak to Richard Ballard? Literally, if you type in Damn Digital right now, look at this. They still have their number there. That's the number I called. Okay, that's where I used to work. And I said, hi, my name is Danesh. I'm a software engineer. Can I speak to Richard Ballard, please? They said to me, no, you can't speak to him, mate. He's on holiday. And I said, okay, can you let him know I called, please? And they said, yeah, sure, no problem. Put down the phone. I asked, when is he coming back from holiday? He said, next week. Next week I call. I said, hey, I called you guys a week ago. You said Richard Ballard would be here. Can I speak to Richard Ballard, please? Yeah. And they said, are you a recruiter? Are you trying to sell us something? I said, listen, I'm not a recruiter. I used to be a recruiter. I'm not a recruiter anymore. I'm a software engineer. I just really love your company. I really love your portfolio that you have on your website. And I really want to I just want to speak to Richard Ballard to introduce myself so he knows that I'm on his radar. I've sent him my CV. They said, well, listen, mate, he's not available right now. Okay, thank you. I said, when will he be available? He'll be available probably at the end of the week. He just got back from his holiday, so he's not available. Or I think his holiday got extended or something like that. I was like, all right, cool. Called back at the end of the week and they were like, okay, this is Danesh, yeah? And I said, yeah, this is Danesh. And they said, okay, he's actually available right now. Okay. They put me through to Richard Ballard. I got on the phone to Richard Ballard. Richard Ballard says, mate, yeah, I think they told me someone's been calling for me actually. Yeah. So what's the situation? I said, listen, I really love your company. I want you to introduce myself. I wanted to come down and introduce myself over a coffee. Okay. And just so that when you are looking, you know who I am. They said, listen, he said to me, listen, I really appreciate it. And that's really great, but I'm actually not hiring right now. I said, look, I know you're not hiring. That's fine. I just want to meet you guys for a coffee, if that's okay. And just tell you guys what I can do. That's all. He said to me, you know what, mate? All right, sure. Go on. Give it a crack. All right. Come down next week at this time and we'll have a coffee. I went down to the offices. At that time, I sat in the office. They brought me a coffee. There we go. We got our coffee. It was him and another manager, and they were like, bloody hell, you don't give up, mate. You keep filling up our company, don't you? And they were laughing and they were like quite friendly with me because I'm a fellow engineer. And they said, listen, we're not hiring right now, And I said, yeah, I know. I just want to introduce myself. So like, all right, cool. So this is what we do as a company. It was exactly as I said. It essentially turned into a job interview. I said to them, look, this is what I do. I'm this guy. I'm good at this. This is what I really like. And this is what I graduate from gender assembly, blah, blah, blah. Cool. You know what, Dan, we can give you a tech test. I said, listen, do you have a tech test? They offered me the tech test. I didn't actually ask for it, but you should ask for it anyway. Do you have a tech test you usually give out? Okay. They said that we have a tech test. You can do that. But again, you don't have to do it. We're not hiring. We're not hiring, Danesh. I said, okay, cool. No problem. Just send me the tech test. Send me a tech test. I completed the tech test in a day or two. I sent it back. All right. They said, thank you so much for sending the tech test over. Again, we're not hiring, but you know what? We're going to give you some feedback because, you put in some of your time and effort. So we want to give you some feedback. They gave me feedback a couple of days after, told me how we can improve it, but told me overall it was all right. It was good. Yeah, cool. But again, Dan, it was good. We're not hiring. No problem. Just when you are, just give me a call. I swear to God, 1 week later, they call me up and they say to me, Danesh, you wouldn't Adam and Eve it, mate. That's an expression, a Cockney expression. It means Adam and Eve, would you believe? You wouldn't believe it, mate. We've just had a new client come through and we wanted to see if you're still available. We haven't advertised the job. We haven't told anyone we're looking. We thought we'd call you first. I said, go check my calendar. No, I said, yeah, I'm available. When can I start? And they said, and I said, yeah, I'm available. I can start next week. And they said, yeah, cool, boom, got the job. No competition, no job advert, no 1,000 applicants that I was competing with. Okay, that is the difference between this method and just looking online. Okay, you are not competing with anyone when they're not hiring. Okay, you are networking. All right. And that is what this is all about. It's all about networking. So this is a proven method. This works. Again, picking up the phone can be very scary. So you don't necessarily have to do that, but send the message, book a phone call to introduce yourself. And what you're going to say on the phone call, practice it a little bit. Just think about what you want to say on the phone call. I'm an engineer. I am this. I'm that. I have these skills. Can I ask you about your company? How are things going? I know that you guys do this. Can you guys expand on that anymore? Fantastic. Oh, by the way, why don't you tell me a bit about your career so far so that maybe I can learn from it and blah, blah. Hey, listen, thank you so much for your time. It's maybe 10-minute phone call. Next time, please, if you guys are available, please keep me in touch. Do you guys have an idea of when you might be hiring? No idea. Okay, no problem. Do you know what? I might drop you a message in a month just to say hello and see how you are. And by the way, video call, video call. Yeah, virtual coffee. That's why I said virtual coffee at the beginning. Because you can't meet them in person. So book a virtual coffee. Again, some people don't want to get on camera. Some engineers don't like cameras and stuff. Cool. Get a phone call. Get anything, but ideally Zoom or something like that. Anyways, cool. So that was that, and cool notes. So we're concluding. Let's conclude this talk. So yeah. So you're gonna get a lot of no's. All right. Be resilient and improve on every conversation you have. Listen, when I did this process, I got a job. See, listen, what's funny is there were some people from my cohort, yeah, where I graduated in General Assembly, the boot camp, that they just got jobs so quickly. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how? Do you know, it was like a few people, but everybody, the vast majority of people were struggling to get their first job. You know what I mean? And I was one of those people. And I ended up getting a job before all of those other people that were like in the same group as me because I did this proactive method. However, you're going to get a lot of no's. A lot of people ignore you. You know what I mean? Listen, when people ignore me, and there was one company that told me to stop calling. They were like, listen, mate, stop calling us. All right? They had running out of patience and they never let me talk to the engineering manager. The engineering manager, if you ask me, he was not a pleasant person. There's another few words I would like to say there, but I'm not going to say them. Yeah, start texting straight. So I had to. So and I'll tell you what, it damaged my ego. You know what I mean? I said no one wants to hire me. This is why my dad never loved me. This is why every problem starts to come to the surface, and you start doubting yourself. It's like, I'm just gonna give up. I'll never be an engineer. I'm nobody. And you're gonna get a lot of. This is a test from Allah. That's the number one. This is my test from Allah. But no, listen, look. You're gonna get a lot of no's. Be resilient. Don't take it personally. Yeah, please. Because even me, it hurts me sometimes. When I message a client saying I want to take a project on for them to build my agency, and they're telling me leave us alone, I'm like, I'm a nobody. But then you got to tell yourself you got to have that other voice that fights that other voice. Okay. So be resilient. You're going to get a lot of no's. Improve on every conversation. It's actually one of the best. I'm talking about this point a lot because it's probably one of the best pieces of advice you'll get, regardless of whether or not you follow my process or follow any other process. Don't give up, guys. Yeah, you just need. This is what I always tell people. Yeah, did I write it here? Okay, no. So I always tell people, you can have 1,000 shots on goal. It's a football analogy, soccer, what the Americans call it. You can have 1,000 shots on goal. You can take 1,000 penalties, 1,000 free kicks. You have unlimited free kicks you can take, unlimited shots on goal you can take. You only need one goal to go in. You just need the ball to go in the back of the net once because you only need one job. That's it. Yeah. So keep shooting that ball until you get that job. Cool. When should you start looking? When am I ready? Am I ready now? You are ready now. Start now. Start applying after this phone call. Start like there is no time like right now, you know? So there's no reason why you can't start conversations, even if my portfolio isn't ready. Listen, mate, by the time these people get through to you, respond back to you, your portfolio will be ready by then. Do you know what I mean? Start now, okay? You want conversations. You have to do badly to do well. Yeah, so if you're doing badly at first, don't worry about that. You're going to start getting used to it and you're going to get in a groove, yeah? Share an account on LinkedIn, get the free version. Yeah, they have like a free version that's available for like a month, I think, and then you can cancel it before the month is up, before they start charging you. So that's a good idea. So LinkedIn will start to cap how many profiles you can connect with and how many profiles you can add, like over a space of a week. So you might need to wait a week, or you might need to whatever. All right. You have to do badly to do well. This also goes for interviewing. Whenever I start looking for a new role again, even as an engineering manager, after a year of being in a job or 2 years of being in a job, the first interview I do always sucks. It's always horrible. Do you know what I mean? Because I haven't interviewed in ages. And they're like, oh, what did you do at this company? I was like, bro, I forgot to revise what I did at that company. Who thinks about what they did 3 years ago in a company? Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you what I did next. So you're going to do badly to do well. So you need to do, you're going to run loads of bad interviews before you run a good one. I adopt the mindset of I'm going, yeah. So yeah, what my mindset for kind of like, this is more mindset stuff. My mindset when I go into like any message or phone call or anything like that, or even any interview, is I always tell myself I'm going to do really badly. And again, this one, maybe don't adopt this one for yourselves, but like find what suits you to kind of calm yourself down. I tell myself I'm going to do really badly. This is going to fail. And I think about the worst case scenario and I assume the worst case scenario is going to happen. And then I make peace with that. They are going to tell me I suck and to get out of the room. You know, that is the worst case scenario. I make peace with that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Once I make peace with that, a lot of the pressure just kind of relieves. You know what I mean? Because now I'm not thinking to myself, oh, I have to get this, I have to get this. I remove the pressure for myself. Or yeah, I tell myself, listen, I don't care. I don't want this job anyway. But I go in there just to I say that to myself to take the pressure off. I use that same mindset with most things. Uh, Again, another great piece of information. If you get rejected, this is more interview and like once the application is actually made, if you ever get rejected from a job, even if like they say we reviewed your profile and we don't think you're the right fit, go back and ask why, because then when they say, well, you don't have much CSS on your profile, then you go onto your CV and you write CSS. Okay, and next time you go on a call, you remember that, wait for them, you revise that for the next interview. If they ask you about CSS in your interview, you sucked at it, you didn't give a good answer, next interview you've already revised for CSS. Does that, I hope that makes sense in terms of this bit. So always get feedback, get as constructive feedback, and say to them, I want, please, can you give some, a lot of them will say, oh, sorry, after reading a profile, we decided to go someone else. Ask them, say, hey, can you get a bit more constructive feedback? Just because I'm trying to find my first job, and just because I want to make sure I can interview better in the future and make better applications for other companies in the future. If they're a human being and not an asshole, excuse my language, they're going to give you some better feedback, or they'll go and ask the engineering manager to give them some better feedback to feedback to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to be not a pleasant person to not really respond to that. And then you just know within yourself that you're the nice person and they're the pricks, and let that help you sleep better at night when you get rejected. And your dad loves you, I promise. Mine doesn't love me, but yours loves you. Anyways, I'm joking. So that's my LinkedIn, that's my email if you ever want to contact me. I'm also on Slack on tap. So if any of you guys have any questions about this, let me know. Mavericks Digital. One more thing I'm going to show you guys that I haven't showed anyone else before. Let me get, okay, cool. Boom. Something like this. Boom. Nothing incriminating over here. I'm learning Farsi to-do lists. Cool. I'll share this with you guys. This is one more thing you guys can take in consideration. So I'll send this into the chat. So this is a template. So I basically copy and paste this to different companies, and I'll just modify it for that company. So for example, this one is very generic. So I say, hi Tala, I hope you're well. I'm a software engineering lead from London. This is for me, yeah, if I was applying for a new job. I'm a software engineering lead from London, UK, and I've recently moved to the region, or to Dubai, or I'm a remote engineer from so-and-so location, from Palestine, or from Amman, from wherever, yeah? I've come across your company, and I'm really excited by what you're doing. Bye, and like, this is the bit where you replace with the cool stuff you found out they do, yeah? What you're doing. So I felt like I had to message you directly. I'm not sure if you're looking for a new tech hire lead at the moment, but would love to introduce myself over a quick phone call or video over a virtual coffee. That and brackets. I like that line, virtual coffee. I always thought that sounded cool. Virtual coffee. So you can keep me on your radar. So not sure if you're looking for a new tech hire at the moment, lead at the moment, but would love to introduce myself over a quick virtual coffee so you can keep me on your radar. Sure. And I can understand how to best position myself for when you are looking. Okay. Please let me know your thoughts and when you might be free for a chat. Danish. Also attached to my CV so you can get a better idea of my skill set. And then you attach the CV. Let me plug that in there. Cool. Right. Did that get every best position myself? I don't think it lets me write a message that long, so I have to post this other half as a second half. Boom. For when you are looking, please let me know. And again, replace the first name. Don't send hi Tala to people. I've made that mistake in the past. I've said hello to the wrong people. And replace my name with your name. And yeah. Think that covers it now. Okay, that was 1 hour exactly, so good thing I was talking fast. Anyways, I hope that was useful. Any questions anyone might have, I'm available right now if you want to put your hand up. Or Mr. Jaffa. I hope this note finds you well. I recently came across a community manager position at TAP. Yeah, that's a good one as well. That's a good one as well. And that's a good oh great. Yeah, look at this. So Anas did exactly what I'm talking about. He sent a message to Jaffa. I hope this note finds you well. This is in the chat, yeah? I recently came across a community manager position at TAP and felt an immediate connection. Boom. He's getting Jaffa to think, bro, someone likes my company, man. You know what I mean? This guy felt a connection with TAP. TAP's my company. Oh, cool. All right, I like this guy. Who is this guy? My job at Gaza Geeks was a game changer for me. From coordinating projects to facilitating diverse training sessions, I've been there, done that. Okay, so he gave a brief synopsis of what he knows. Yeah, and he's been there, done that. So he sounds cool. Yeah. My venture, Layla Palestine, brought together 700 young Palestinians in just 4 months. Pretty proud of that. He's hit his. This is a great one. You can take things from this. He's put he's bullet pointing his highlights to sell himself. Do you know what I mean? You can catch a glimpse of my journey on such and such LinkedIn. The message I sent to get this job. This one is very good, especially if you know they're already hiring. You know what I mean? I'd love to chat more about how I can fit into TAP's vibrant community. I'd like to chat more. You know what I mean? That's the phone call. That's the virtual coffee. You know what I mean? So if you know they're hiring, this is great because you can, especially so because you can sell against what they're doing. But I would also recommend you follow what Anas has done as well a little bit, which is add maybe a little bullet point of why you're special. You know what I mean? Or one of your key selling points. I'm actually going to take that and add that to my template. Great. So any questions from anybody? We had a good call retention. So it's 32. I think we had 33 a second ago. Maybe till we had an appointment at 7 o'clock. But it tells me that people are engaged. They didn't drop off. Cool. No questions? No? Okay. Cool. Anas?
Cool. Thank you, Danish. This is again very insightful. I will want to give the floor another chance for the participants if they want to ask any question but shy. جماعة فيش حد عنده سؤال معقول؟ شو الدعوة؟ Suddenly they are all job hunting experts. تفضل باسل.
Finally, okay. Okay, so I know this is kind of this is a proactive approach, okay, but it seems a bit like it's intense, which is good. But if many people do this, wouldn't this be too much?
Sorry, I should have let you finish your question. But I'm being I'm kind of like, I'm still buzzing from giving this talk. Sorry, do you want to finish that with that note?
Yeah, wouldn't this be too much if many people do this approach? Like maybe in the future, the CEOs or the engineers wouldn't be interested after all in talking to any participants outside the company. Like this is my main question. Wouldn't this be too much if many people use this approach and then they would consider this as a spam?
Nope. So basically, number one, most of you that are in this call aren't going to do this. That's number one. You're just not going to do this, bro. You're going to go back to sending jobs. You're going to maybe do it for a day or two, and then you're going to give up. And you might send some messages. You might just start applying to direct jobs that are hiring because it feels easier. That's number one. Okay, so only a few. I think from the last cohort, there was one guy who messaged me directly, and he was like, "Dan, like I really love that talk, and I want to do this. Like this is what I'm doing." And I had to push him. Even him, who was enthusiastic. He was like, he was messaging me like, "I've done this," and I was like, "You should do more, do more. How many did you do today?" He's like, 3. I'm like, "Bro, you need to do minimum 10 a day, minimum." You know what I mean? Anyways, so that's number one. Most of you guys want to do this. Number two, if you see here, I've typed in recruitment. Okay, I'm gonna type in London. Yeah, so this is the London, England, United Kingdom. Yeah, 18,000 recruitment companies. 18,000 recruitment companies in London, yeah, that are doing. This is the one I used to work for, Opus. This is Bristol, but we had an office in London. The 18,000 recruitment companies in London that are following the exact same process that I did, yeah, and they're coming across as salesmen, not as individuals. You're going to be warm. They're going to like you because you're a genuine individual, yeah. These guys come across as salespeople. Hey, give me your money so that I can give you this engineer, okay? So this 18,000 results, yeah, this is a I think $80 billion industry in the UK recruitment. Okay, there is so much money to be made in recruitment that people are just like opening. Every man and his dog now has a recruitment company that is confident enough to get on the phone. That's why you see 18,000 results. Okay, and guess what? There's still, even the new ones are still making money. Okay, what's the point I'm trying to get across here? The point I'm trying to get across here is, if there was such a thing as spamming, then this wouldn't happen. All these companies would have gone bankrupt right now. That's number one. Number two, there is a problem in the industry. The problem is finding good quality candidates like yourselves. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, and that is the truth. And that's why these recruitment companies are successful. This company right here, I know a guy who billed like 10 grand a week, £10,000 a week. Yeah. His name was Freddie Short. He messages me now because I'm an engineering manager. Look at this guy. My God. Freddie Short. This guy used to bill a 10 grand a week. Yeah. As a salesperson. Yeah. And now he messages me trying to see if, and he's always messaging me once a month saying, "Are you looking for people? Are you looking for people? Are you looking for people?" My point is, again, and also loads of companies have tried to solve this problem with tech and it hasn't worked. You know, Juno, they started off as a recruitment app, and I don't know if they're even still around. Are they still around? Okay, maybe they're doing all right now. Okay, congratulations. But I think they had to move away from the recruitment space because they were struggling with recruitment. They had to kind of find a niche within that. I don't know exactly what they're doing. But essentially, there is a lot of room for new engineers. There's a lot of availability. Don't have limiting beliefs like that, because that will discourage you from having a crack. And yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. That's interesting.
My problem. My pleasure. Again, apologies. I'm still buzzing from the talk. And so I'm just word bombing. Sorry, go on, Mohammed.
Hi, Danesh. I love your energy. I love the overhyped energy you have. I just wanted to ask, as someone like me, who doesn't have a college degree, only worked solo, do you think, and my LinkedIn profile has nothing, basically, because I never worked for a company, or do you think that I have a chance doing the stuff you just taught us?
110%. Again, this is another limiting belief. This is for my Muslim peoples there, this is the shaitan trying to put you down, brother, and trying to tell you ain't got this, my G. You know what I'm saying? For my Muslim peeps, you know, this is what do you call it? What do you call the whispers of the shaitan? Someone write that in the chat. And there's an Arabic word for it, but I'm not Arab and I don't know the word.
Waswasa.
Waswas. That's the waswas, bro. That's a very popular word even in the UK. So that's the waswas, bro. Listen. Number one, my degree wasn't in tech. Yeah. Number two, this is the guy who taught me how to code. All right. This guy right here, he's doing fantastic. Yeah. He was one of the course chiefs, and now he's like, look at CTO at like 3 to 4 different companies. Like he's killing the game. Last I spoke to him, which was years ago, he was like consulting people for £500 like an hour. It was ridiculous. I still don't consult people for £500 an hour. I need to get back in touch with this guy. But if you look right here, GCSEs, which is high school, okay, A levels, which we call college, but it's not university. The British system, this guy didn't go to what you guys call college, okay? He didn't go to university.
Community college?
I don't think you guys have a comparison for it. I think you guys would still be in high school. So at 18 years old, this guy didn't go to university. You know what he started doing, bro? He started smoking weed and being a hippie. And he was an artist, and he was proud about that. This is not something this isn't me putting him down. He'll say, "Do you want to come to my house and smoke some weed, and I draw some art, and I'll play some music, and we'll chill." That was this guy's vibe. You look at his hair and everything, you get the vibe. All right, really nice guy. This guy is now making a whole bunch of money. Had a great career in tech, etc., etc. Get your portfolio ready. Your CV is your portfolio if you haven't worked anywhere. You write down the project 1, I did this with this tech stack, Project 2, I did this with this tech stack. That is your CV now. And it's your portfolio. All right. And now you go and be a hustler. If you go and get some freelance work on Upwork or something, I'm not very familiar with like freelance stuff, but if you can do that as well, that helps. Anything you can do to help. But don't let yourself get caught up in the West, my homie.
Thank you, Danesh.
Pleasure, brother. Did you have a question, Anas? I saw that you put your hand up for a second. I guess not. Any other questions? This is a fruit smoothie, like berries. I think there might be banana in there. Motaz. I'm definitely pronounced that wrong. Motaz.
It's close. It's Mu'taz. There's a missing letter. Arabic letter. Honestly, I don't have any questions. I had many questions before watching the lecture, but you answered all of them with your slides. So just wanted to say thank you, and it was very informative.
My absolute pleasure, my brother. You know, software engineering changed my life, and I want to help anybody else that can help them too. Glad you guys loved it. Abdul Rahman.
Yeah, that's a very good pronunciation. I'm surprised, actually.
Yeah, you got the ha in there. You got the ha. So the ha has the rah, right? Am I right?
Yeah, it's ha. It's yeah. Basically, it's but I think this is the best I've heard someone in this course pronounced it yet. Who's a non-Arabic speaker, of course. First of all, thanks for this presentation. My question is kind of related to Mahmoud's question. For me, it's a bit. It's more about the age. In your experience, do you think age matters a lot when someone, especially for someone like me, who's kind of career shifting towards this, slightly older than average, probably?
Let me tell you something. Yeah, this is more waswasa. There you go. This is more waswasa, bro. Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you what. Look, I'm gonna tell you now. I know people. What's that guy's name? I was about to show you another profile of a guy who's older who got a job. I can't remember his name, and now he's an engineering manager. Anyways, if I remember his name, I'll bring him up. But he was older, and he did the same course as me, and he got the job, and now he's an engineering manager. All right, and I think he was older. So don't worry about it, bro. Also, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say, you know how they make memes nowadays? They say like motivation for ladies, and it's always like you're a queen, you got this, and then they have motivation for men, and it's like you're a punk, like get up and work, like no one's coming. I'm good at motivation for men stuff, so maybe ladies cover your ears, but like Yeah, let's just say your age matters. What now? What now, bro? You're gonna lay down and die? You know what I mean? You're gonna cry for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get up. You gotta try, and you gotta die with your sword and your shield in your hand, because no one's coming to save you, my brother. No one's coming to save you. As much as I can give you a talk, bro, I can't do this for you. I wish I could. I wish I could give you all jobs, but listen, like, no one's coming to save you. So you gotta save yourself. You gotta get up. I don't have well, most people don't have a rich uncle. I have a rich uncle. He never helped me. Okay, most people don't have a rich uncle. Okay, and my one didn't help me anyway. Yeah, so you gotta figure it out for yourself, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Some people have an easy ride in life. Some people don't. Vast majority of people don't have an easy ride. That's the vast majority. Yeah. So basically, I don't have a rich uncle exactly, or maybe my dad just didn't love me. No, I'm joking. But no one's coming to save you in this life, my brother. It's only you. You can only count yourself. You have to make it happen for yourself. As much as everyone can give you advice, everyone can support you, you have to go out there and get it. You know, again, most people don't have a rich uncle. I think last time I did this talk, somebody literally said, "Yeah, my uncle gave me a job somewhere." So, yeah. Any other questions? You know, I visited Nablus recently. You talk about like pronunciation Arabic. Yeah, I visited Nablus in October 1st. You can see, yeah. Anyways, and when I was there, it was so nice. It was beautiful, and people were surprised that I was Muslim, and they were like, "You're Muslim? You're Muslim?" And they're like, "Ikra Fataha, Ikra Fataha." Alhamdulillah, I knew what Ikra meant because I knew it's the first word of the Quran. Yeah, so all of a sudden, I'm going around Nablus just Ikra Fataha. That's like, one guy said to me, I was like, "Oh, I'm looking for Omar bin al-Khattab Street." And I know I pronounced that word wrongly. Yeah, Khattab. I still can't get it right. People have told me for some reason that word I can't get right. And he was like, "Oh, you mean Omar ibn al-Khattab?" And he was like, "Actually, this was the friend of our Prophet." And I was like, "Bro, you think I'm not Muslim, bro?" Omar is, bro. Yallah, I'm waiting for another question. I'm giving you guys pep talk, like, I'm giving you guys TikToks. Well, I'm waiting for another question. Have you had kanafa from Al-Aqsa Sweets, no less? Have you guys seen the guy with the big belly and like a turban around his head that serves the Al-Aqsa Sweets? When I saw him, I was like, bro, this guy does good kanafa. I could just look at this guy, the big belly, the turban, and I know he's good kanafa. Yeah, the best. That's what people told me. That's what people told me. It's the best one. So I think there was another place I went that was on Graffiti Street. Graffiti Street. There was another one I think I went to. That was nice. You met me when I came to Adidas. No way. I did go to Adidas. Did someone sell me slippers in this call? Basma, okay, funny story. Basma, she sold me slippers, believe it or not. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, she helped me. She helped me find slippers. Yeah. That's crazy. I'm gonna come back to Nablus when everything gets there, inshallah. Love that place. No more questions. You did get good slippers for you. Okay. Oh. This guy's trying to sell me Arabic slippers. Okay. If there's no more questions, and I can carry on to entertain you for 11 more minutes if I can. Otherwise, I can let Anas take the lead.
As you wish, Danish. Like, thank you for this session and always insightful. We will share the recording with the students. Also, I will share your LinkedIn profile for them to follow you, and hopefully, yeah. Danish needs some business development advice for BD people. If you would like to give some advices for free until you get hired, also this is an option. يعني, Danish will welcome you, and thank you. Let's stay in touch.
Definitely. I'll put my LinkedIn in the chat. And Anas, if you can send me the recording as well, that'd be great.
We'll do that for sure.
Everyone is more than welcome to add me on LinkedIn. Everyone's more than welcome to message me on Slack. I'm very available. I'm very friendly. I don't bite, as they say. So yeah. Cool.
Thank you. Bye bye.
I end it with a wave like the Queen, if you remember her. She used to wave like this. Bye bye all. Bye bye.
Thank
Can't
you,
even see me
Danesh.
wave.
Goodbye.
Take care, my brother. Cheers.
Bye bye.